Are you disorganized? You know what I'm talking about. You got too many things going on at one time. You're not exactly sure which thing you should focus on first. And because of that, it feels like you're constantly trying to catch up to do the things that are going to actually propel you forward in life. Well, if that's you, you're in luck. Today, I'm going to share with you my 5 steps for leading a more organized life, a more organized business. Stay tuned, folks. It's Owen Video.
Owen Video!
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It's Owen Video live today, and it's a beautiful day to go live. In fact, I may start going live every single day at this time, which is Wednesday, so subscribe to the channel if you're out there. I know you want to hear more from us. Hey, Mike Palace, Rosh Silers, and BG Jimmy. BG Jimmy, by the way, it's great to see you. Like, what am I eating here? Great to see you back on the channel. It's been a while. Like you're like coming around again. It's great. I'm glad that your schedule has cleared up. Brian White, Media Zeus, logging in again. He says, you again. Yeah, absolutely. Went live earlier on the Business of Video podcast with me and Nick Nimmin. And if you watch that on Facebook, glad to have you there. Lily Tree, back again. She's saying, I'm quite quiet. Shall I turn up the volume? Looks like I can turn up the volume a little bit here. How's that? Is that a little better? You know, I got to be careful because when I'm too loud, I'm too loud. Guys, where do you struggle the most with your personal organization? Let me know in the comment section. I want to hear from you guys on this today because it's super important, by the way, that you lead a more organized life, that you have a plan for everything and everything fits according to plan. Now, when you're organized, you can get more done. And when you can get more done, you buy back some of your free time, and you're able now to spend more time with the kids. You're able to invest fully in your wife. Like, you know, at the end of the night, you're sitting on a couch, you know, you're watching Game of Thrones or whatever it is you guys watch. But in the back of your mind, you're like, oh my gosh, I've got all this crap to do. What am I going to do about tomorrow? My life sucks. And you're not even there. You're there, but you're not there. You guys relate to me on that? Let me know in the comment section. I want to hear from you on that one. Gavin says, I am the first like on this video. Air 5 to you, buddy. Pff, I knew you could do it. We're going to talk about staying organized today, and I've learned a few things about being organized. Some of you guys know a few years ago, I was diagnosed with stage 3 thymoma cancer. I've got an 8-inch scar down the center of my chest, plus 2 little dots where all the stuff had to drain, and went through, you know, a year of chemotherapy and radiation to be the bold and amazing man that is here before you. But look, I was really faced with a dilemma when I got sick, and it was this. It was I can either close down my business and say goodbye to the hopes and the dreams that I had been building for the 3 years prior, or I could figure out how to get twice as much done in half the time, because as some of you know, with chemotherapy, you're sort of stuck, right? You're sort of stuck on the couch, feeling depressed and feeling angry. And it's not about like thinking positive. Chemo biochemically changes your body, and so what I chose to do. I chose to get more organized, and I chose to be more productive with my time. And I'll tell you what, during that time, my business grew 105%, something like that. It might have been 115%, but we doubled the size of our business during the time that I had cancer. Okay, now how many of you would like to double the size of your revenue? Right? Let me hear from you in the comment section. It's not a facetious question. Some of you don't want to do that, and I get that. Some of us out there are just perfectly content with where we're at. But for those of you that want to double the size of your income, you want to spend more time, you know, in real time with your wife, and want to spend more time with the kids, I'm going to share with you 5 steps. These are the same 5 steps that I learned while going through cancer. I implemented into my life, and I still use them today. Now today they're less of a, oh, do I do the 5 things, and it's more about it's just a part of my life. It's part of my daily routines, my daily habits. So Lily Tree is saying my disorganization is very organized. MSI guy is saying I feel you, bro. Mike Palace is saying get organized by not giving a blank what other people think you should do. And Rosh Silers is saying, this is my goal for 2018 is to double the business. Okay, well, let's talk about some of these things right now, guys. And the first of these things is how to stay organized is to have multiple catch-all buckets. Have multiple catch-all buckets. Now, a catch-all bucket, for your own edification, are these little notes and sticky notes, right? How many of you guys have look at this? I have a legal pad and I have sticky notes. Doing it with Jason says, "Hey, sexy, good to see you this morning, Jason, and great to be with you on the podcast today." By the way, if you guys didn't have a chance to check out the podcast on Facebook Live with me and Nick, go to iTunes, subscribe. We would love to have you be a part of that show, and you can catch us live every Wednesday morning. Okay, so you've also got your cell phone. Okay, some of you may have whiteboards. I've got whiteboards down here as well where I'm writing all my ideas down. It is a good idea, okay, to have multiple catch-all buckets. And these are where you're sort of like, writing down your notes throughout the day, right? So I like to have a legal pad and I like to have, these sticky notes, and I have these all throughout the house. You could even get really crazy and color code them. But most of us have multiple catch-all buckets anyway. Right? Do you guys have, what do you got? What's your favorite catch-all bucket? And I call it a bucket because philosophically you're putting stuff in it, right? I've got this notepad, but I'm writing stuff on it, or like a bucket, I'm putting stuff into it. What are some of the things that you guys use to catch all of your ideas and your thoughts and your things? Let me know in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you on that. Lily Tree saying nice overlays. Thank you. We're going back. We went back to OBS today, and I'm loving it so far. So you got to have lots of these different places. Okay, I believe. Okay, so that you're never, whenever you have an idea, you can get it out. Okay, where most people fail is that they never. Right? Like I've got all these little things I've written on, and they never go back to them, or they don't know where they are. Okay? Which is why you have to follow step 2, right? Step 1 only works with step 2, and that is have one consolidating bucket. So step 1 is to have multiple catch-all buckets. This is where you've got sticky notes and sticky pads and letter writing and notes in your iPhone all over the house and all over the place, okay? But you've got to have only one consolidating bucket. And that's the bucket where you go put everything in when you're ready to do that. Okay, MSI guy is saying I use the Wunderlist app. Awesome app. I don't use it myself, but I've heard of it. Rosh Silers is saying I use a whiteboard and a journal. I use a journal too. I'm actually using the Full Focus Planner by Michael Hyatt. I love it. It actually revolutionized our first quarter. But this is more like my consolidating bucket, and I'm gonna share with you guys what that's all about. BG Jimmy is saying, I thought it was not a good idea to have multiple catch-all buckets. I have my phone with Google Keep and Trello, also my journal. So look, yeah, you've got all these multiple things, but you have to bring it all together. You have to bring it all together into one consolidating bucket. And I want to show you guys what my consolidating bucket looks like here, okay? Because I use a program. Check. Hopefully the audio still carries over. Check. Can you guys still hear me? I use a program called Teamwork, Project Management System, and I've been using Teamwork for quite some time now. And here's what we have in Teamwork is I have the ability to add multiple projects. Let's just go to my dashboard here. Maybe I'm in my dashboard. It's just changed up a little bit. So I'm in my dashboard here, and I've got multiple projects, right? So I've got my video spot marketing, my YouTube and Facebook shows, my sales and product fulfillment, weekly work tasks, admin and financial, coursework for Video Spot, and then down here I have client work and project work, okay? So here's the deal. As I'm going through my buckets, everything that's on my bucket, so I rip the page off the yellow notepad, right? How many of you guys hate ripping the yellow page off, right? You've got to just detach it. And now I've got a clean, clear piece of paper to start my week with, okay? And this I'm going to take along with all my other sticky pads. I'm going to take my journal, and I'm going to come down to my computer, okay? And I'm going to log into Teamwork, and I'm going to look at the first things on my, so the first thing I have here is all about my website. It says cPanel automatic backup. So I'm going to go into Video Spot Marketing, okay? And I'm going to go into the Video Spot website. And I see I've got website general tasks. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here and I'm going to start transferring all my notes, right? So I'm going to go cPanel. Oops, where we go? Are we live? cPanel. I think I know what happened. Make. Look at that. It transitioned. I set up a hotkey for my A to transition me, and it didn't work when I wasn't live. Now that I'm live, it's working. So I can't use the word. I can't use the letter A. So I'm gonna go. Make website backup. Right. What else do I have on here? Transparent BO. Oh, I need to tilt the BOV image. Oh, and I just hit it again. You see what I'm doing? I'm transferring everything that's on my notes, and I'm putting it into my main consolidation bucket, which is on Teamwork. And Teamwork will comprise the list of everything that I'm supposed to do. Now, Trello is another great program for this if you're using Trello. You can also use your calendar, but I recommend, highly recommend, by the way, splitting. Look at this. It won't, now it won't. It's so amazing how it's like it's not there now. I don't know why that worked. I recommend splitting up, okay, your calendar from your tasks items, because your task items, your consolidating bucket, this is what's going to tell you like what you have to do, but your calendar is going to tell you when you have to do it. Okay? So big difference there. All right? So you're going to put everything in. You're going to transfer everything over here, and then guess what you're going to do? You ready? You're going to take this piece of paper, and you're going to throw it away. And now you're starting your week. Okay, you're starting your week with a fresh notepad and no leftover notes from the week before. How many of you guys have ever come back to your desk on a Monday morning and you have, stacks of notes that you wrote? I bet you I even have some down here. I do. Look at this. I actually put them. I had so many notes, okay, that I put them in and look at this. All the notes that I've taken throughout the weeks and weeks and weeks. And the only reason I have this folder, is for for this document right here. This is the one I really want, okay? And that's something I got at a conference, and I love it. Everything else in there is just kind of garbage. You know what I mean? Raj Silers is saying, you've seen my desk. Yeah, Lily Tree is saying, throw away. Yeah, it's like we never throw stuff away. Raj Silers is saying, I'm testing Trello. I like that you're testing it, man. I really want you to dig into it. I actually think that Trello has some advantages over Teamwork. What I like about Teamwork is it's more of a project management system. I think Trello is more of an organization system. Trello, Teamwork has a lot of the fillers. 30-day reviews is saying it's a bit quiet for me, but I got a volume button. It also might be because the more I back away from this mic, right? At this mic, you have to be kind of like making out with it for it to work. You can't, guys, this is the thing. It is so psychological to start your week with a clean desk, or at least a squared away desk, okay? Get rid of this stuff. And what you're going to find is that half this stuff that you've written notes on, you don't even need it, right? So I've got this thing on notes that I wrote from the podcast today, right? Opens with Roseanne sleeping. You must be busy. Takes a successful show. Good tweets, right? Like I might make this and keep this, but I don't need it, right? There's no actionable items on that sheet right there, okay? So you've got to keep that in mind as you're moving through your week, all right? And you're taking all the notes that you've written. And here's something that you can do. In your main consolidating bucket, whether it's Trello or it's whatever, pin a note to yourself. Pin a note that says, be sure to check all your catch-all buckets. Be sure to catch all your catch all buckets. And what this reminds you to do is like, oh, did I grab the notepad from the car? Did I check the whiteboard, right? Did I look in my phone, right? Check through your recent images in your phone. Check all the images in your phone for that week. Maybe you took a picture of someone's YouTube channel. Maybe you took a screenshot on your phone of an ad that you liked. And then when you go into your consolidating stuff, and guys, this doesn't take a long time. It's taking me much longer to explain it than it does actually take to actually do these things. This is where the magic happens, is when you get into the habit of transferring all of this stuff over. So I mean, these are my notes for this session right now, right? I don't need this, so I throw it away. So much psychology in throwing away stuff. When you start a new day with a messy desk, it makes you feel like you're behind, because you always start with, oh, I have to do this thing. Right? You guys like what I'm saying? Are you picking it up when I'm putting it down? Hey, if you're liking what you're hearing right now, do me a personal favor. Share this video out on Twitter. Let people know you're watching. I would really appreciate it. Okay, so let's talk about that. So we've talked about having multiple catch-all buckets, okay? We talked about have one consolidating bucket, and it might even be your journal. But usually your journal is going to be like a daily notes thing. And so you don't want to have your daily notes thing and your consolidating bucket all in the same place. And that brings us to tip number 3, which is have weekly organization sessions, right? Have weekly organization sessions. And here's what I mean by that is you've got to pick a day of the week where what you're doing is you're going to get organized. For me, this usually happens like a little bit on Friday, and then again on Sunday. And what happens on Friday is that on Friday, I tend to clean out my desk, right? I have like this goal, and it might be unrealistic, but I have this goal of not working on the weekends. Now, I end up doing, work here and there, but if I do, I want to work on my laptop. Okay, I want to work on the laptop so I can be out and be with the kids. Be with the family and be there doing what Jason is tweeting us out. Thanks so much, Jason. So what I want to do is have my desk in a place where Monday morning I can come down and be ready to work. So on Fridays, I take all my notes, I organize them, and I put them with my journal right here on top of my workspace with my journal. And then on Sundays, it's all in one place. So on Sundays, it might be after church. We go to church around 10:30. We're back by noon. And that time is we either are going to go out and do something, or we're going to lounge around the house and do something later that evening. So right now it's getting to be summertime here in California. Very, very hot in the afternoon. So chances are we're going to hang out in the house in the afternoons. And that's a great time to like pour a margarita, right? Get a glass of champagne. By the way, I love champagne these days. It's just so light and crisp. It's just a great summertime drink. And start the process of dumping everything into one bucket. Now, you guys, it doesn't take a long time. This might take me 10 or 15 minutes. What we do, and I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but what I do is I like him and haw over it, right? So I go like, oh, I've got to get that done. Oh, I don't want to do it. I want to have fun. But then what do I end up doing? Watching TV, hanging out on Facebook. Right? And what you could be productive with that time. You could be watching TV. I have a smart TV, so I could actually watch Facebook videos on my TV while I'm doing this thing. It takes 10 minutes to transfer all your stuff over. But now you've got all of that stuff organized, okay? You've got it all in one place. So now all your 5 different things, they're all in one place. You have no trash anywhere in your space, and now that leaves room for the big one. Number 4 is put those things on your calendar. Now that you have all the tasks in one place, you can put them on your calendar. Okay? Now, I want to just take a moment and really clarify with you, okay, that your calendar is sacred. Your calendar is, whether you know it or not, is precious. It is sacred, and you are pissing away your life by treating it with disrespect. Okay? You're pissing away your life. Why? Because you waste time, and that time is managed on your calendar. So here's what I see, and I was doing it too, guys. I was doing it too. You don't plan your day, for example. Your day is not planned out. Not every hour is accounted for. And I'm not saying you got to work back to back to back to back to back, right? What I'm saying is your break time is accounted for, right? So on Mondays, I do my private Monday mastermind call with clients only. And if you'd like to be a part of that, you can go to thevideospot.net, check out our services, and see how you can become a part of that. On Monday, I do an hour live stream with private clients answering their business questions. Then after that, I go live on Be Live Weekly. And then after that, I have a 2-hour break. And I can do whatever I want in that 2-hour break. I think of it like my 2-hour lunch. After that, I come back and I make my videos, right? Or I plan my videos. I actually have a rule, no shooting on Mondays. And the reason being is because it tends to be scattered and disorganized, and I would rather plan on Mondays, okay? But the point is I have it organized, so my Mondays are not wasted. What we do is we don't plan out our days. We'll say, I'll find something to do. Don't worry, I'll find stuff to do. And you waste your life on tasks, accomplishing the fires that are right in front of you, when what you should be doing is walking in the other direction. My wife and I, we've divided our work day into 2 different types of work. Level 1 tasks. Level 1 tasks are things that actually put money into the business. And level 2 tasks are anything else. All right, so a customer says, hey, I need to change my credit card. Better example, customer says, Owen, I want you to build my ebook funnel for me. I say, great, we're going to do that for you. And I tell I put the order in and I process it. Well, that's a level 1 task. So my wife knows to drop what she's doing and to do the level 1 thing now. Now let's back up. Let's say a customer calls me and says, Owen, I'd like for you to take a look at my website. Tell me what you think. Okay, well, we'll get to that when we get to it. You see what I'm saying? It puts no money in the company, and sure, there might be a pitch down the road somewhere to upgrade the website or whatever the case might be, but it's not putting money in the business right now. So now what it does is it goes onto our lists, it goes onto our catch-all buckets, and then we can organize it according to a time that works for us. You see how I take control of my calendar? You know, people are always saying, I just need to find the time to do something. False. You need to make the time to do something. Think about all the tasky things you do throughout the day. How many of those could wait while you go make sales calls? Right? Now, of course, nobody wants to make a sales call. And I don't mean calling on the phone. I mean emailing people, calling upon someone who could make a sale. Your calendar, let's just go back to it. Your calendar is the most important, sacred part of your business. And what we're doing is we're giving away our calendar to anybody who asks. Your inbox. Your inbox is just, it's other people making demands on your time. Hey, Owen, we need this from you. Hey, Owen, do this for us. Hey, Owen, check out that thing. Your inbox is full of other people making demands on you. What you have got to do is take control of that. I don't even check my email to the end of the day. Right? Because that's usually when my designer gives me stuff, and that's when I want to see. So here's a look at my calendar. Okay, guys? So I sit down on Sunday, I put all my buckets, I put all the items in my bucket into my calendar, and I color code them. Right? So look at all these. These are my appointments. The purple are my appointments. Okay? Those are the appointments that I'm working with. These green things, okay, these green spots here, these are, well, let me back up. These purple appointments are where I make money, okay? So wherever you see purple, there's money coming into the system. Either they already paid, they paid for that meeting, or something similar, but there's much money. Green is typically where I'm spending money. This mint green color, right? So I paid Dan Nickerson. This is another paid consultant, right? This red stuff, this is content. This is where content needs to go out. So this is YouTube Live, YouTube Live, YouTube Video Punish, and YouTube Live Stream. Notice that this is Wednesday right here today. Orange are personal things, like, stuff that has nothing to do with my business. Okay? So what I've done here is I've taken everything that's on my buckets here. It's in my consolidating bucket, and I'm slowly putting things on my calendar. Now, remember, I'm using Teamwork. So you might be asking, and if you guys do have questions, I am going to wrap up in a quick second here. We'll go to your questions. If I have things, oops, there I am, that have not, I'm just going to go save comment here. Okay. I have these things, right, that have been dumped off in my main consolidating bucket, and they've been organized according to marketing and content, and I've got these different things. So I could see like this one, copy the homepage. Okay, well, I'm sitting down on Sunday and I go, all right, copy the homepage. So now what I do is I'm going to create a task. It's called a subtask. And I'm going to type this in. I'm going to go copy the homepage. I'm not doing this for everything, by the way. Okay, I'm not doing this for everything. I'm only doing this for the things that I've decided I'm going to do this week, right? Copy the homepage as start date is going to be, the day that I choose to do it. And my due date will be, either that day or, like a week later, 2 weeks later, whenever I feel like I can get to it, okay? So I might put that in there. And then I save the changes. And so now I actually have a task set. And I don't think you can do this in Trello. This is why I like Teamwork. It's more of a project manager. So now I've got these different items, okay, that can actually be accomplished. And when I'm done, I can check this little check mark, and look at that. It scratches it off. And as soon as I refresh the page, it'll be gone. And guys, I pay $25 a month for this. I know some of you, it's like, oh, you don't have $25. I get it. You don't need it. So some of you that might be saying, oh my gosh, this is great. How do I get it? Go to thevideospot.net/teamwork, okay? And you can get up on all of that. Okay, so you're going to put all those things, not all those things. You're going to put the things that you need to do on your calendar, okay? And it looks like we have 14 people watching now, so I want to say thank you guys for watching. I'm going to come back to your comments in a second. I know I've been sort of ignoring you a little bit here. And I looking at some great stuff. Yeah. Stop. BG Jimmy is saying, stop imitating me. That's hilarious. Guys, I was there the same. Believe me, I was there. And you know what? I read a book, and I can't remember the name of the book. Like The Art of Getting Things Done. And I'm only skimming the surface with you guys. There's so much more to be said about the way that you organize tasks, like things that need to be done, things that can get done within 2 minutes. Do them now. Don't even transfer them to your list. If they can be done in 2 minutes, just do them on Sunday. Just do them on that day, right? It's like, change my YouTube banner. Well, just go frickin' switch up the banner, assuming it's made, right? Or whatever the case. So if it can be done in 2 minutes, just do it. There are other things like, is someone else accountable to this? Do I need to involve someone else before I can cross this off? Well, then that goes into a separate bucket. This goes into a delegate bucket. Then there's other things like what's the other one? Like no response needed at this time, right? No action, like a no action item. Well, it's like you might remember something like don't forget your show had 3,000 viewers or views on it this week, and it's like, okay, well, there's nothing I can do with that, so I'm just going to write it in here and put no action needed. The same is true in your inbox, right? If you put into your inbox, no action needed. Okay, so like I said, we're just kind of scratching the surface, but these 5 tips should help. So here's the big thing about the calendar. Okay, once you've put these things on your calendar, this is big. You ready? Do only the things that are on your calendar. Do only the things that are on your calendar. If you have open spots on your calendar, fill them with money-making activities. Okay? Because here's the tendency. The tendency is to feel busy and to feel productive, right? How many of you guys can actually relate to that? You want to feel busy. So what you do is you take on this new project, right? You say, this new thing I'm going to do. Well, what happens when you do that? Oh, that took more than a half an hour. Oh, that took 3 days or 3 hours of my time, right? And now you've got non-essential items actually bumping out essential items. Look, if you've got an hour and a half, 2 hours of dead time that you didn't fill in your calendar, then use that for personal growth. Use that to read a book. Use that to do something that's like a finite start and stop thing. Because when you say, oh, well, I've got some extra time, so I'm going to go design this new thing, or I'm going to go edit my video. And when you start doing that, hey, cooking, when you start doing that, you guys know as well as I do, you get involved in editing this video, and now it's taking you 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, and you don't want to stop because you have momentum and your heart's into it, and you don't want to stop what you're doing and go write this SEO blog article because that's not as fun. But your SEO blog article is what's going to rank get your website ranked, which has a link to your free offer, which is going to generate more leads. Whereas the video, who knows what the video is going to do, right? So you've got to do only the things on your calendar. This is what I mean when I say the calendar is sacred. No one gets on my calendar without my expressed permission. I mean, no one. And it's hard, guys. I say no to a lot, right? A lot of successful people say, and Antonio said this on the show today, is at 1.9 million subscribers. He's got a $5 million a year business. Antonio says, most of success is on what I say no to, right? Is saying no to things. And that is just so true, right? Finding good ways to say no. Oh, I'd love to be on your podcast. You know what? Right now is not a good time. We're working on some big quarterly projects, and I just don't have the time, but I would love to. Let's touch base in a few months, right? Knowing how to say no. Oh, well, sir, your website project sounds just amazing. I wish I had time to pick it up right now. I would love to. I hate to turn your business away, but right now we're focused on some YouTube stuff, some video ad stuff, and I can't divert. It's just too much. I had to tell a client no the other day. They transitioned from being a consulting client where I get on the phone with them and I coach them over to being an agency client where now my staff, my team is doing the work for them. And they kept on trying to ask us to do this and to do that. And I go, you know what, guys? I can't do it. I'd love to. I would. But what you're asking me to do is to stop our momentum and pick up all this other momentum over here, and I'm just not willing to do that right now. So you've got to be willing to say no to some of those things. And when you do, you'll find that you have the time to focus on the things that you really want to do and that will really push your business forward. Okay, so let me show you all 5 things. Let's review how to stay organized. Number 1 is have multiple catch-all buckets, right? Satisfy that need that you have to write things down everywhere. Be in a place. Some great ideas is to have a catch-all in all of your workspaces. So you've got your mobile device, okay? You've got your mobile device. You've got a whiteboard. You've got some sticky notes. And you've got your journal. Like those are some major areas. But have multiple catch-all devices. Have one consolidating bucket. So you have one place where all of these things come together once per week in your weekly organization sessions. Okay? You sit down at the couch with a glass of champagne and you get stuff taken from the sticky note and put onto the main consolidating bucket or the main consolidating, folder or whatever. We talk about Trello or teamwork. Once you have everything in one place, you're going to put your action items on the calendar. You're going to put your action items in the calendar. Now, then you're going to only do the things that are on your calendar. Okay? Only do the things that are on your calendar. Here's a couple calendar tips for you too before we go into questions. And if you have questions, ask them in the comment area and we'll get into that. Here's Lily Tree says, note to self, get a bucket. I love it. Here's the thing about the action items that go on the calendar, right? Give yourself an extra half an hour per item because if you don't know how long it's going to take, right? You're like, I don't know how long it's going to take. An hour, right? Make that an hour and a half and give yourself that extra space. Give yourself that extra space to get it done, okay? Because it might take longer than you think. Also, think about organizing your calendar in buckets, right? So like Rosh was saying how Monday is his media day, and they don't need to write a Monday media day, Tuesday teamwork day, right? You don't get stuck onto some of those things as I have, right? But Ross does his media prep on Mondays. I think it's a great idea. So now what you're doing is you've got these buckets where you want to put stuff, right? And you've got this whole system laid out. So you've got I've got Wednesdays are website days, right? Let's just say. So I need to put Amazon ads inside my website. I don't know how to do that, so I got to figure it out, right? So it's going to take me like an hour and a half to figure it out. I'm going to do that on Wednesday because Wednesdays are the days I work on my website. You guys understand what that means? So if you color code your day, so for me, Tuesdays and Thursdays are the only days I meet with clients. Only days I meet with clients. Tuesdays and Thursdays. So when a client says to me, hey, I'm ready to get going, I say, great, well, we meet on the first and third Tuesdays of the month. Which of those days works best for you? Oh, Wednesdays works really well for me. Oh, great, that's awesome. Now, Tuesdays and Thursdays are when we meet with our clients. So, and of course, there's always room for flexibility, but I do want you guys to practice sort of holding your ground on your calendar. And remember that you are building a life around your goals and dreams, not someone else's schedule. So when your client says, man, I want to meet with you Wednesday at 10 a.m. You say, that's great. I need to do Tuesday at 1 p.m. or Thursday at 1 p.m. You know what I mean? Hold your ground a little bit and tell them why. You say, well, the reason is I'm in front of my computer. I do all of my clients at that time, and so I want to make sure that client, we serve you the best way we possibly know how, and they hopefully will have that type of respect for you, and work with you on that. So those are my tips for you guys today. Any questions on any of that? Happy Trails has just joined us. The Jackson Family Show has just joined us, and great to see you guys here. I'm going to go back into CC Gaming is saying, can anyone help edit my video, please? Yeah, we can edit your video. Go to thevideospot.net, click on services, and then click on video editing, fill out the form, and we'll let you know what we can do. Keep in mind, though, I mean, you're going to be looking at an investment. You know what I mean? Just be aware. If you think you're going to get your video edited for $60, you know what I mean? That's not. We're looking at doing 15 videos a month for you, if that's something that you really want to do. You Do It is saying, doing it with Jason. Who's your daddy? Oh, I love it. I love that spunk that I get from you guys. Jarhead is saying, I'm going to watch this tonight. He's probably at work. Hey, get back to work. You're a security guard. Watch. He's watching my videos and somebody breaks into the bank. 30-day reviews. What's up, my man? Is saying, hey, all, I probably missed it. What app is good for notes and ideas for videos and stuff that is easy to use and conveniently, hopefully with a calendar as well? Okay, so I would use Trello. I think Trello is a great, even though I'm not using it, I'm using a more advanced tool. But I have a team and I have different things. Tim Schmoyer has been using Trello for years. I don't think he uses it anymore, but he's been using it for years. So Trello is great. It's free. Right, it's a great tool that you could be using. And for a calendar, I would recommend GCal, guys. I would just recommend your Google Calendar because it's got so many different features that sync with everything. So you should be good. You should be good there. Lily Tree is saying, great list. Happy Trails is saying, we have a Kanban board. This sounds familiar. Let me see what that's all about. Is that like a hiking thing, or is that Kanban board? Oh, look at this. Okay, so look at this. It's like a Scrum board. Yeah, it's very similar, actually. Let's take a look at this, guys. This is kind of what Happy Trails is doing. And I'm just showing you a shot from Google Images here. Is kind of what these Kanban boards look like. Something like that. And again, that's huge. This is all very, very good, for something like this. Yeah, so this is a Kanban board. This is exactly, by the way, what Trello is. It's like exactly what Trello is. So yeah, I think it's great that you're using that, and you've got to, at the end of the day, be continuing to use what works. 30-day reviews is saying, I just said no to reviewing a product because they're a startup. Good. So you're learning how to say no. That's great. I still got a product sample. Oh, good. Okay. Also got them to figure out an affiliate program, and they respect me of how I said no. That's great. Yeah. Saying no, guys, will get you more respect than yes will. When people want you. People want you. When you say yes, they got what they wanted. And this is not like some big psychological game. Say no when you mean yes. I'm against that. I'm very much a transparent guy. I very much hate this thing that says lie to people to avoid confrontation, right? They'll often say, like, I believe there's never a time when lying is good. There's only times when you can't think of a better way out, right? So someone says, well, what if someone came to your door and was like, hide me, and you hide them, and then somebody else comes to your door and says, hey, where's that girl? I'm gonna kill her, right? People actually use this argument as a reason why it's good to lie. There is no reason to lie in that. Oh, I don't know. Now you're building this web, right? Find better ways to give the truth. Find better ways to give the truth where, you say, look, let's go outside and let's have that conversation. That's a great question. I know that you're looking for this person. I am not going to share that information with you. I mean, just be honest, like grab your spinal cord. And you don't need to lie to tell people no, right? You don't need to, I'm actually going to be out of town with the family and our hippopotamus who's sick, and I got to go to the doctor. You're just building this web, and you're like untrustworthy. You say, it sounds like a great opportunity. Right now, I tell you, my calendar's just full. It's just booked, and I'm so sorry. I know it sounds arrogant, but I apologize. Can we revisit this in a few months? The art of saying no. Okay. Happy Trails is saying, I just went full time with content creation. That's awesome. That's great. For myself, from a very scheduled 9 to 5. That's awesome. Congrats on that freedom. What's one thing we should focus on for the next 6 months? Okay, great question. So you just went full time with content creation from a very scheduled 9 to 5. Here's the thing. Are you making money with your content? And if you're not, I would focus all of your energy on that monetization plan, all of it. How are we going to make money? Let's build out our plan. And you don't have to fill out your plan in a day. Give yourself some time to figure out what your plan is, right? Go to Starbucks, get out of the office and breathe in the outside air. Get into the sunlight. I know for me, the sunlight activates my creativity, so it's like, get out, think about what your business plan is, and then make moves on that plan. I would even say, if your content creation is for the next 6 months and you're going to go with AdSense, I'd love to know what I'm guessing, Happy Trails, that your content plan is going to be more based around getting people to hike with you in some way, shape, or form. And if that's your plan, I would work on how are you going to get them to do that? Do you have website forms already ready? Do you have an email sequence already ready? And if not, those are the things you need to start building out. In fact, those are the things that we're building out right now in our company, because we need to be on top of that. BG Jimmy is saying Trello can be confusing in the beginning, but when you understand it, it's powerful. I agree. I didn't get it at first, which is why I skipped out of it and went to Teamwork, and then I've been using Teamwork for like 5 years. I go back and forth. I have an active Trello board. In fact, let me show you guys what Trello looks like. I have an active Trello board, and I go back to it. Like this, it's just a place for me to like dump ideas from time to time. Let me just log in here. I mean, hopefully the account is still active. I think so. Yeah. So I'll show you guys what my Trello looks like. So there's my Trello. You can see I used to be doing, creating videos in here, and like I had potential video titles, right? And so I'd like go to Nick's channel and I'd say like, all right, well, these are the videos that I want to do. YouTube video ideas, get subscribers on YouTube. And actually I've done some of these. on my channel. YouTube uploads, right? These are just categories, and you can move this stuff around, right, back and forth, and you can move these cards. You can move this card over here, and you can see here that it's color coded, so you can color code. A lot of great stuff that you can do. You just got to find a system that works, works for you and your lifestyle. Costume Co is saying, I was told years ago never to lie to a client, and it has always served me well. Here's what I think. I think you lie to clients, they're going to find out. You lie to clients, they're going to find out. Cooking with Spice says, I got my first sponsor client asking me to do a review video for them, and I stood firm on what I did and didn't want to do, and it worked. Hold your ground. People respect that. People respect it, okay? And if they don't respect it, they don't have to like it, but if they don't respect it, they're not respectable, right? There's plenty of people out there that love pushovers. They just love to push you over, get what they want, and not even say thank you, And don't worry about them. They will find out if you lie, 30-day reviews. They will find out if you lie. If it's much better to say not right now, or like I did and explained it, as that he doesn't do work with startups because he likes to work with companies that are in it for the long haul. I like that. Happy Trails, I would love to come hiking with you. Where are you guys, by the way? Are you in Colorado or some beautiful state? Or are you in the desert wasteland of California? Everyone thinks California is so beautiful. There are parts the parts in the TV shows of California are beautiful, right? The rest of it's a desert wasteland. Oh, what else we got here? That faceless video thumb is creepy. BG Jimmy's got to go. Says, thanks for all your tips. Thanks for the chat today. Yes, guys, hey, happy to be here. I'm glad I got a chance to answer all your questions. Remember, subscribe to the channel. If you enjoyed what you saw here today, give us a share. Share us on Facebook. Share us on Twitter. Help us grow the channel. And stay in tune for much more coming up on Owen Video. We'll see you guys next time.